Shin Young-min falls to the ground immediately. Seeing Shin Young-min fall, the students who are watching from their classrooms start to wonder if Shin Young-min will lose, and Hung Sung will win. Will the school's top fighter really lose to a first-year student? Without hesitation, Hung Sung locks Shin Young-min's arm and twists it. Shin Young-min tries to beg Hung Sung to stop, but Hung Sung doesn't stop and breaks his arm instead. The fight between Shin Young-min and Hung Sung is over, with Hung Sung emerging victorious. He defeats Shin Young-min and his gang, proving his strength to the entire school. Meanwhile, Principal Oh Dae-won is talking to someone while watching Hung Sung's victory over Shin Young-min. The scene shifts to Hung Sung walking towards Kim Si-woo. "Are you okay?" Kim Si-woo asks. "How about you?" Hung Sung replies. "Of course, I'm fine," Kim Si-woo says. "Good, it was supposed to be easy," Hung Sung says. "So what now? Many people saw you defeat Shin Young-min, but breaking his arm." Before Kim Si-woo can finish, Hung Sung cuts him off. "There's nothing to worry about, right? You're worried that this might become a problem, aren't you?" Kim Si-woo is confused by Hung Sung's nonchalant attitude, given that breaking Shin Young-min's arm could potentially become a big issue. "What did you realize after fighting against scum like Park Min-chul's gang? The world is not on the side of the weak," Hung Sung says, looking at Teacher Kim walking by without saying a word. On the other side, Teacher Kim is walking towards Shin Young-min, feeling very troubled about the situation. The only way to handle this is to be a false witness and let Hung Sung graduate, and then he can live without this burden. That's what Teacher Kim is thinking. "Teacher, please take me to the hospital." "Teacher, can you hear me?" Shin Young-min says, trying to endure the pain from his broken arm. Teacher Kim looks at Shin Young-min coldly and says, "Shin Young-min, your arm wasn't broken because you fought with Hung Sung. You fell down the stairs while playing with your friends. If you mention Hung Sung's name at the hospital, I'll cover up the incident. So, just keep quiet." Hearing that, Shin Young-min gets angry and shouts, "How can you call yourself a teacher? You're a teacher, you're supposed to prioritize the safety of your students." Teacher Kim grabs Shin Young-min's shoulder harshly and says with anger, "Hey, you little brat, you've often used this as an excuse to cover up your own misdeeds. Don't ever teach me how to be a teacher." The scene shifts to Kong Taegu, whose face is wet and bruised, being held by two men in black shirts. A man stands in front of him, saying, "Are you still conscious? Let's continue. Please, give me one more chance. I succeeded, didn't I? I'll do whatever it takes, even stab him if necessary," Kong Taegu says, trembling with fear. "Hey, do you remember what our job is? Our job is to make our clients happy by causing chaos at school. What if our client isn't satisfied? Do you think you'll take responsibility? Making clients happy and hiding their identities is our job. Did you forget?" the man says, and then kicks Kong Taegu's face with his knee, causing him to fall and lose consciousness. The man beating up Kong Taegu is Young Chan-soo, a regional broker in Seoul. Seeing Kong Taegu's failure makes Young Chan-soo think that Hung Sung isn't an easy target. However, he believes in his own abilities and thinks that Hung Sung is just a formidable opponent, but not for him. To him, Hung Sung is just a frog trapped in a well. The scene shifts to Shin Young-min, who receives a message from Hung Sung, wanting to know who the client is that hired them to bully him. Seeing that Hung Sung knows when he'll be discharged from the hospital, Shin Young-min realizes that Hung Sung can still track him. This means Hung Sung can still do it again. Not only does Shin Young-min receive a message from Hung Sung, but he also gets a message from Kong Taegu. This makes him even more annoyed, and he thinks that if Kong Taegu wants to punish him, then so be it. With his mind jumbled between thoughts of Hung Sung and Kong Taegu, Shin Young-min feels annoyed and decides to go home and sleep, planning to deal with them when he wakes up. When he arrives home and opens the door, Shin Young-min is shocked to see that his house has been ransacked. A man runs towards him and punches him, but Shin Young-min manages to block the punch. Looking around makes Shin Young-min curious about what's happening. "What's going on with our house?" Shin Young-min asks. The man in front of him is Shin Young-min's father. Shin Young-min's father falls to his knees, crying, and says, "I told you not to touch the kid named Kim Yun-sung. If you hadn't touched him, everything would be fine." Hearing this makes Shin Young-min shocked. "You've ruined everything, even if you have to live like a dog, you shouldn't have crossed the line. This house you're living in, the food you see when you open the fridge, do you think it's free? Even if I'm not a good father, I've tried my best, but you've ruined it, Shin Young-min's father shouts. Seeing his father's anger makes Shin Young-min shocked and regretful about what he's done. In his shock, he walks backward and accidentally steps on a bottle, causing him to fall. As he falls, his phone rings because he's receiving a call. The scene shifts to Shin Young-min kneeling and apologizing to Hung Sung, suggesting that Hung Sung can use him as a servant if that's what it takes to get forgiveness. However, the response Hung Sung gives is beyond Shin Young-min's expectations. Why should I forgive you? I warned you not to mess with my friends or people close to me, but you didn't listen. You did it because you knew you could handle the consequences, right? Hung Sung says coldly. It's not like that, I did it because I'm stupid, Shin Young-min says quickly. Yes, you're stupid, very stupid. Only a stupid person would throw themselves into the fire, Hung Sung says. Hung Sung gives Shin Young-min one last chance, which is to endure something for a month. If Shin Young-min succeeds, Hung Sung will forgive him. Seeing this, Shin Young-min is shocked. There's a glimmer of hope, but also fear about what's to come. Because Hung Sung doesn't reveal what Shin Young-min needs to endure. The next day in the school cafeteria, Shin Young-min walks in, and all the students start whispering and pointing at him. Wow, that's Shin Young-min. He looks okay, I guess. Has he changed after losing to a first-year student? He deserves it for being so arrogant, the students say, looking at Shin Young-min. The students start cursing and mocking him. Shin Young-min sits down in his chair, thinking that this is all nothing. He just needs to endure for a month, and everything will be over. As he sits, Shin Young-min notices a bookworm named Han Myung-yun staring at him, which makes him annoyed. How dare a loser like Han Myung-yun stare at him? Hung-min, just endure it. It's only a month. Keep quiet for a month, graduate from high school, and start a new life, Shin Young-min tells himself, trying to calm down. Suddenly, without warning, Han Myung-yun walks up to Shin Young-min and pours a bottle of milk over his head, making Shin Young-min shocked and disbelieving. A bookworm dares to do this to him. When Shin Young-min looks up at Han Myung-yun with anger, Han Myung-yun quickly says, according to Hung Sung, I can do this to you. A few days ago, in class 3 to 5, Hung Sung stood in front of the class, talking about how he fought against bullies and how anyone can do the same if they're strong enough. I wouldn't be standing here if I weren't strong enough to fight against bullies. So, from now on, I want Shin Young-min to pay for everything. From now on, you can do whatever you want to him, and he won't fight back. You can spit in his face or hit him on the back of the head, and he won't retaliate. But of course, this isn't mandatory. You decide whether you want to do it or not. If you feel like you can't do it, just remember this, no one will punish him for you, Hung Sung said boldly in front of his seniors. Hearing this, many people were shocked and didn't believe it. The school's feared student, who always bullied others, was now vulnerable. Han Myung-yun was one of the students who had been bullied by Shin Young-min for 3 years. He had been slapped by Shin Young-min just for accidentally making eye contact. He had lived like a puppet, ignored by everyone, and sometimes wondered if Shin Young-min would ever realize what he had done was wrong. But that moment never came, and now, finally, the time he had been waiting for had arrived, thanks to Hung Sung's guidance. Han Myung-yun then hits Shin Young-min on the head and spits on his food, saying, do you remember this? You used to do this to me and say things like this. Enjoy your food, you bastard. This is just the beginning. Shin Young-min endures a day of being bullied, hit, tackled, and thrown stones at. He's angry, but he can't do anything except hold back his anger. He wants to fight back, but he's afraid of Hung Sung. Meanwhile, Hung Sung thinks he's failed. He was expecting a lead on the golden circle, but he didn't get any information. The only clue he has is that the client is a student in the same year as him and rich enough to hire the golden circle. After thinking about it, Hung Sung sends Shin Young-min a message, offering him a new game. If Shin Young-min can complete it, all his problems will be solved. Shin Young-min quickly responds to the message, I'll do it. Whatever it is, I won't disappoint you. The scene shifts to a small character standing on the side of the road, trying to convince himself that he's doing the right thing. Shin Young-min puts on a hoodie and mask, then walks into a store. The cashier is none other than Park Min-chul, who greets him with a bow. Welcome, sir. What can I get for you? Before Park Min-chul can finish his sentence, Shin Young-min slams his head onto the counter, causing Park Min-chul to cry out in pain and confusion. Shin Young-min then starts beating him up, but despite wearing a mask, Park Min-chul recognizes Shin Young-min from his stance and gaze. The scene shifts to a park where Park Min-chul's gang is gathered, except for Yoon Min-ho. It turns out they've all been beaten up by Shin Young-min. Park Min-chul tells them that he's sure it was Shin Young-min who beat him up, and explains why he's so certain. The gang members suggest reporting Shin Young-min to the authorities, but Park Min-chul says, "Do you have a will written? Shin Young-min is a dangerous person. Getting involved with him will get you hurt." As they're discussing the person who attacked them, Shin Young-min appears and says, "It's great to see you all together, slaves. What are you doing? Why did you beat me up yesterday?" Park Min-chul asks, both angry and scared. "Actually, I didn't want to do it, but Hung Sung knows my weakness. And he said he would forgive me if I could show you all what it's like to live in hell. You know what that means, right? Sorry, but I have to make you all live like you're in hell," Shin Young-min says, and then charges at them.